Old Jakarta, Kota Tua, in the northern part of Jakarta.
Yeah, we are actually a bit happy that it's not raining so far.
We took a Grab from our hotel over here. And don't get us wrong, Grab is really great. We've used Grab several times and never had an issue. But this thing smelled like every person in the city blew their cigarette smoke right into the car. But I've never been here in Kota Tua before, and have you?
I have a couple times.
Okay, so Holof's going to show me around because I've never been here before.
Started with the Dutch in the 1600s, and this is kind of the oldest part of Batavia, which is Jakarta. And there are some landmarks that are still left over from the Dutch colonial. That's where we're gonna head out next.
So let's get going, and maybe some of the air will air out these clothes.
Yes, absolutely. So we are in Fatahillah Square, and this is probably one of the most Instagrammable place in the whole Jakarta. And it is easy to see why, because there's a lot of colonial architecture all around us. The Dutch colonial nostalgic for Indonesians. So a lot of people come here, take the photos, take like some kind of photo shoots. And it is pretty. Like, you can definitely see the remnants of what Jakarta looked like back in the 1700s. Right now it's Monday, so like a lot of museums actually closed. But if you walk around, actually it's very pleasant. Although it is kind of hot.
Hello guys. Let me introduce myself. Yeah?
Sure.
My name is Muhammad Sanggirjo.
Okay, nama saya Michael.
Michael. Okay. Where do you come from?
Dari Canada.
Canada.
Not even 5 minutes, we're in the town square, and Michael is actually mobbed by a study, so it's kind of cool. I think people want to talk to a lot of foreigners because it's kind of cool in Jakarta as a bule.
And he speaks really well. He speaks really good. He speaks really well English. He speaks English really well. One of my least favorite things about coming to anywhere in Southeast Asia is people constantly bombarding you for selfies. But things like that I don't mind at all because these kids are really great. All they want to do is ask you a couple of questions to practice their English. And really they just want to find out what you think of Indonesia. So I don't mind doing that at all. I think it's really, really nice to meet kids around Southeast Asia like that to help them practice their English and maybe learn a bit more about each other. Are they broken completely?
I just broke my sunglasses, but obviously we don't need it anyway because it's raining.
Of course, one of the best parts of coming to Old Jakarta is the local food. Old Jakarta was actually the capital of the Dutch East Indies back in the day. It was the first, I believe, walled city that they ever built. There's a port that is out there, and then there's a lot of old buildings, a lot of old streets. There's a Chinatown here. We're going to try to show you as much of that as possible today.
Yeah, but unfortunately start pouring out now. We probably should have done it in the morning.
Now you can hear the thunder going and the rain is coming down.
And
we have a nice place to stay at least.
Yeah. It's covered up now in this road. Not far from here, like Michael said, there's a Chinatown where you can get some of the really good food.
Yeah, fried noodles and fried dumplings and things like that.
Yeah.
Which we might try later if we're around, if it's not raining.
We're gonna run and take a cover in Cafe Batavia while it's still raining. Was she here?
Maybe. Okay, Cafe Batavia sounded like a good idea, but then you look at the menu and you're paying like $5 for just a small coffee.
It is a fancy restaurant for sure.
We're not cheap, but we're not paying that much for a thimble of coffee.
It's thunder somewhere.
Well, we better find a place to get inside real quick.
So our plan of exploring Jakarta Kota Tua didn't go as planned because it started pouring rain and we had to look for a cover. That's why we ended up here in Jakarta Kota Station, one of the landmarks here in Jakarta Kota. Well, that's gonna be hot.
So we ended up at a Starbucks. I want to explain to you how I feel about Starbucks. I know we're in Southeast Asia and the coffee in Indonesia is really, really good, but the coffee in Indonesia is also really, really small. So at a place like Cafe Batavia, you're going to buy a small coffee for 55,000 rupiah, or you're going to get a giant one at Starbucks for 48,000 rupiah. Twice as much, and it's good coffee. So we know, we get it. But Starbucks is it today.
Since like the rain is not gonna stop, we get a plan B for today, which is exploring the Chinatown part of Jakarta. It's called Glodok, and there's a lot of good food, so we're gonna come and explore. berapa?
Cakueh 3,5 satu.
3,5 beli satu deh ya.
25 cents.
25 cents. Alright, this is something that's called a cakueh. This is the Chinese heritage snack that people love, including myself. So I grew up with this. What it is that basically a deep fried dough, crunchy on the outside, and usually comes with this kind of sauce. So it's slightly sour but spicy sauce. Gonna give it a try. Usually comes in the pair like this. See how it is. Crunchy is good. It's really good.
Yes, it is.
This is a good sauce, definitely. Lunch number 2, which this time is a real lunch in the Chinatown of Jakarta. It is called the Bakmi Amoy, basically a noodle dish. And this area is well known for something that's called a bakso goreng. So bakso itself is basically like a meatball, and in this case, the meatball is not as dense as what you think a meatball is, and they deep fried it. It's good. It's slightly crunchy on the outside, soft in the inside.
Okay, I know I said it was really good, but now I have this behind the tongue kind of fish taste, I think, but I don't know. So I don't know if I like it. I think it might be fish though.
There's some fish in it, yes.
Ada ikan?
Udang. Oh.
Udang. So it's shrimp. I knew there was a fish taste in it, and now that I know it's shrimp, I like it. That's a lot of food.
Oh, it smells so good.
What's it called?
It's called a bakmi campur.
Champur basically means complete.
I gotta dip myself because it's warm. Just me being in Indonesia. But as you can see, a lot of samples of the meat on top of the noodles. The noodles kind of dry, that's why they have a separate bowl of broth if you like to get wet. And I'm definitely gonna give a try of the noodle itself. It is really good. The noodle is dry, but it is just like flavorful. Not just kind of noodle, instant noodle like you have, but it's just like a deeper flavor of it. It's so good. For dessert, I'm gonna get pickled fruit. In this case, it's salak, which is the snake fruit. And I had a sample, and it's really, really good.
I'm not usually a big fan of snake fruit, not because I don't like the taste, but I don't like the dryness of it. But this is actually pickled, so
Well,
I actually like it.
you do?
Yeah, I like it a lot better than I do right out of the skin. I like it enough that I'm having another piece. Good call. That's really good. Some weird ass fruits in Asia, but they're delicious.
That's it from the rainy Jakarta today.
Yeah, too bad we couldn't get you around more in Old Jakarta. But you know, that's it. When the rain comes and you don't have a dry bag with you to put your camera in, you got to kind of get in under the covers a bit and find out what's going on in the deep dark recesses, like in Chinatown.
Yeah, it is a fun day just to explore some of the neighborhood Jakarta that I never even been in. So
And you know, sometimes you just have to be glad that it's not blazing sun.
yes, absolutely, and it's a much better temperature, like Michael said. Yep. In 2 minutes, our grab will here.
Is that it?
Less than 2 minutes, it's our grab.
Platinum Hotel.
Iya Pak, di Tanah Abang situ.
This is absolutely crazy. We have been in this vehicle for very near an hour right now.
It's over now.
And the entire drive has been less than 3 miles. If we didn't tip after Grab's cut, he would make $1.92 off of this drive.
Completely insane. That's so
It's
many
absolutely insane.
motorcycles everywhere.
And the motorcycles are the problem, where they get in and around, they zoom through. But even if they weren't there, this traffic would be absolutely crazy. Yeah,
But
we're starting to
almost
hit cabin
there, I
fever. But we're almost there. It means we've got 1.2 kilometers to go, and it says about 15 to 20 minutes. So anyway, just tip your Grab driver. Finally, after what seemed like far too long in a Grab truck, a nice Grab truck, a nice air conditioning, we are done. We actually got him to drop us off on the main street instead of driving all the way up to our hotel. Because that's just another cluster, you know what, for him to get caught up in. Tomorrow we're going to be visiting Indonesia's 4th largest city and Paul's hometown. So we are going to be making our way to Bandung.
He wants to wave.